I'm sorry about that. I accidentally hit, and I was trying to move my mouse so I can get the thing to move properly. Yes, Obi-Wan Kenobi did that to him, and it was revealed in one of the one of the journals of Obi-Wan Kenobi. Yes, when the Black Castle showed up at Tatooine looking for Luke Skywalker, so Obi-Wan Kenobi sliced up his eye, and yeah, that was revealed in the pages of Star Wars. You got to thank Jason Aaron for that because technically, you could say he kind of created Black Cassian. I think I'm not really sure. So yeah, it's basically they're after like various stuff and of course, you're not going to be hired to steal something. Basically, she's kind of be treated like a cat burglar in a way. That's basically Alyssa Wong writes her. But not really a big issue when it comes to Dr. Africa. She's that type of person. She is in a relationship with this woman here, who was no classmate of hers. And she's in a relationship with her, which, fine. They established the fact they began a relationship. Now, currently in the books, they have the character Serena in the book. And Serena was basically out, I believe it was in the first crossover. I think it was either Vader Down or Screaming Citadel, where they outed the fact she previously was in a relationship with Dr. Aphra, establishing the character as bisexual. She does later on appear in the book, but she doesn't appear here. But this book is actually pretty good. I give this book roughly a 9.5 out of 10. Damn good book. But it is by far the weakest book of all of the main 5 Star Wars books. Now, High Republic basically was a good start to the series. At least this one has a more familiar character. By the way, this book only contains the first 5 issues. If you're curious, though, watching like 2 minutes, like, wait, why are you starting with this book? Like, why is like part 1, part 2? That was on my pure accident. I did not pre-plan it at all. That just happened to happen that way. Yes, if you're curious, though, the first part is only about 10 minutes. Yeah, that wasn't my pure accident. I was trying to move my mouse, but I accidentally hit the stop button. That's simple, just fits. Alright, moving on to a different book. We have Suicide Squad Most Wanted, Katana. This, of course, is written by one of our co-creators, Mike W. Burr. Yep. Now, you won't see Joe Pera on the artwork because the man is no longer alive. He passed away in 2005, so he can't do the artwork for the character anymore. Nope, I have a lot of respect for Joe Pero's artwork. I've talked to Chuck Dixon about the guy. At the time, he was definitely a big fan of his, and he loved working with Joe Pera, from what I could tell. And he also was one who designed who actually brought in the the costume, what's kind of funny was the Traka costume, the one worn by Michael Keaton. It was I'm trying to think, what was it? It was the guy who directed Planet. I'm forgetting the guy's name. The guy who directed the '89 Batman movie. Let me look up on here. Oh, I think it's Tim Burton. Yeah, Tim Burton. Yes, he is one who basically brought that costume to comics. Now, I should reveal something a little interesting about this miniseries. You see, originally it was not pre-planned to have Katana part of this miniseries Suicide Most Wanted. Originally, she was supposed to have her own solo book called Katana, Curse of Cobra. That was the original plan. But the book basically they kind of changed it in a way where wasn't officially canceled per se, except they kind of changed it a bit and they added the Deadshot feature of the book, and the series title was changed to Suicide Most Wanted. But here's something interesting though. The story was still called Curse of Cobra. Yep, it still was. The story was still called that, which was still good. This book brought in 2 characters who, yes, Mike Dibber did create these 2 characters, so he brought them in. These 2 characters made a debut in this book, and that was Geoforce and Halo. Yes, these 2 make their post-Flash appearance in this book. Interesting, though, in the case of these 2, Halo does pop up in the following miniseries, and that's it for her. No, seriously, that is it for Halo. Because It seems as though DC had no plans for the character, and she didn't appear in the most recent Outsiders series. Geoforce, on the other hand, just appeared in this miniseries, and he appeared in an issue of Harley Quinn, and that was it for the character. Yes. Yeah, I thought this was kind of weird. I mean, bring a character like Geoforce, who is a good character. Who, yes, this is definitely a character you don't give an ongoing series to. Fine. Yeah, not a character I'll give it to, per se. But, okay, scratch that. They did pretty much, after appearing in the Suicide Most Wanted series, he did appear in Dark Knight Death Metal. Well, where he was real part of the Outsiders, and they kind of guest on the issue of Justice League. He appeared in Doomsday Clock. And I believe that's it for Geoforce. Yes. Here he appears as Byron Markov. Now, Markovia is... Well, it is... I believe it was a country in Europe, if I'm not mistaken, Markovia. Yes. Because that's what originally was pre-Flashpoint. Yes. Yeah. Originally, it was a tiny country in Europe. Here, it's an island. Yes, they changed it to an island. I'm not really sure why they changed an island for, but they did. So Katana basically deals with, well, stuff going on in Markovia. So she goes in, and by the way, she starts out wearing the original outfit that she was given when the New 52 happened. The gray armor with the gray paint on her face and the white mask. That's what she started, and basically here's what she looked at the back of the cover. Yeah, she started out basically wearing that particular outfit, and then halfway through the miniseries, not really sure why Bird did this for, though I think this, and this is my opinion anyways, I don't think this was his idea. No, because I don't think he would do this. My theory is that this was probably done because of editorial mandate. Because half of this miniseries, she puts on her movie costume. Yes, this is the very same costume from the movie, which is put a white tube shirt, this cool looking jacket. I love the jacket. This black pants with a sash, and that's her attire. Yeah, an outfit where it reveals a lot more skin than usual, because if you were seeing Katana's previous attires, like, they pretty much covered her up really well. The only skin you saw was basically her face and her neck. Never to the point where you saw her, like, top of her chest or even her belly. Yes. Now, in case you're curious though, the first time Katana appeared out to the comics, which actually was an episode of Arrow, she did wear this original attire. In the case of the movie, which came not long after that, she wore this new attire. So, basically, they had her change this particular look, and apparently also the Suicide Squad shows up here because, of course, Suicide Squad, because it's called Suicide Most Wanted, so she appears here. And throughout this miniseries, she meets, of course, Halo for the first time. Her real name is Violet Moore. Yes. They pretty much have her appear here. And... oh, yeah, also... yeah. Yeah, where she basically... throughout this miniseries, she kind of becomes the superhero Halo. And we also have the debut in the very first issue of a character named Lady Eve, who is a Mike Bird character. Yes, he created this character back in Batman the Outsiders number 24. You see, she is a lover of the leader of Cobra, King Cobra. If you're curious, though, what the heck she looks like, what's her, like, a full appearance of the character? Let's see if I can find it here. Like, here's Katana at the start of the miniseries wearing her new attire, which she first sported in the pages of Birds of Prey. Yep. And then afterwards, she left Birds of Prey. She moved Justice League America. And then when that's wrapped up, she popped up in the pages of Green Arrow, where she became briefly a supporting character in the book for some strange reason. I don't know why, but she did. And there she is right there. So you got to thank Mike Burr for bringing in this character along with, of course, well, technically he didn't bring in Geoforce per se. That was Joe and Connor who did that. Yeah, so aside from Lady Eve, like, and Katana, Halo, was there any, like, other character that, excuse me, well, you could say that she first appeared here, but actually, according to the stuff I've read, apparently her first appearance post-Flashpoint was the first issue of Batman Incorporated Volume 2. That apparently was the first appearance. And then she popped up a few issues after that. Then she popped up in this miniseries. And the following one with Suicide Squad Black Files. Then she popped up for Dark Days to Ford, Doomsday Clock, and that's it for the character. Yes. I do appreciate, though, Mike Burr basically writing this character again, because he clearly knows how to write Halo. Now, you might be curious, though. Does she take up name Halo here? Yes, she does. Oddly enough, she has not joined the Outsiders for some reason. I don't know why. It's kind of weird. Now, aside from bringing in, well, Halo and Lady Eve, and of course Geoforce, who appeared halfway through this miniseries, there was this character called Battle Axe, who was a character that, okay, Bird did create this character. Yeah, this is another character. Yeah, she was a character first appeared in Outsiders 5 of a Kind, Katana / Shazam, which appeared just for that one issue. And then she returns, like, again here. That one shot came out in 2007. This is 9 years later. So 9 years between appearances. That's interesting. And then she appears just for these 2 issues of, well, yeah, appears for these 3 issues. And then she pops up in Robin. Yeah, that was kind of weird. Williamson basically brought the character back. But yeah, it's interesting, though, that it was Jimmy Harman and Connor brought this character in for like 1 issue. I'm like, really? Jimmy Harman and Connor brought in frickin' Geoforce. And it was a dream sequence. But you could definitely say that him popping up in Suicide Squad Most Wanted, Deadshot, and Katana in issue 3, that technically you could say that was his true first appearance. And then he appeared in Doomsday Clock and Dark Days of Forge, and that's it for the character. Yep. Now, I do appreciate, though, that the artist of this book, who is Dogan Neves, who does draw Katana to be really sexy in this attire, which, don't have a problem with that. Yes, she is not the actress played in the movie. I at least appreciate, though, the fact that both Arrow and Suicide Squad, remember the fact they cast an Asian actress to play the character, because the character is Japanese. I don't know necessarily if they were Japanese born, but at least they were freaking Asian. Yep. But this miniseries is so fun. I love this. And yes, I have viewed these miniseries that came right after this. Yep. And of course, she gets tangled with Cobra this miniseries. And at the end of this, she's offered a place with the Suicide Squad. And, well, then she becomes part of the Suicide Squad in Suicide Squad Volume 5. For no reason. Except for the fact she appeared in the movie. Yes. Of all the groups she was part of, like Birds of Prey, not really a big issue part of that group. That group is perfectly fine for her to be part of. Justice League, good idea. Suicide Squad, no reason to be there. At all. Rob Williams probably was told to put her in the book by editorial mandate. It at least felt like a freaking Suicide Squad book that John Ostrander wrote. Though Katana's history with the Suicide Squad is a one-off appearance back in the 80s. And that was it. But this book is really good. I think Bird does a great job writing Katana. Now here's a little fun fact for you about Katana and Mike Burr. When was the last time officially that Mike Burr ever wrote Katana? You might ask. And the answer is... And you might think, oh, did he write her in, like, other parents that she appeared in? Like... I think, officially, the last officially he wrote the character. Let's see. I'm looking up right now. Let's see. For Mike W. Burr, I'm looking up right now. Prior to this, what was the last official time he wrote the character? No, that was Tony Bedard. Nope, that's Paul Dini. I'm looking up right now. Don't worry, this hopefully won't take too long, per se. No. Probably should my nose there. Okay, so when was the last officially that he wrote the character? I'm still looking. You might be asking. Yes, I am still looking. No, not that one, surprisingly. Nope. Not that one. Let's see. This is going to take a bit. Not that one, no. Excuse me. I don't think it was DC Challenge. Nope. I think officially the last time that he wrote her was back in 2007 for the Five of a Kind one shot. I think that was the last official time he wrote the character. Let's see. I think it was. Sorry if I keep itching my nose. My nose is really itching right now. So yeah, I think it was prior to this. It was in that one shot. It was the Outsiders one shot Katana / Shazam. So that was technically the last time he wrote her, 9 years before this. And bringing him back to write the character again definitely was a good idea on DC's part. Now, I'm not sure exactly what happened here, because her having a miniseries in 2014. Okay, that was going to happen. It being changed to Suicide Squad Most Wanted, that was basically changed, because it was announced prior to the for DCU. That's what this book was part of, DCU. And for some reason, they changed it, and they basically just took the miniseries. They kind of canceled it in a way. For some reason, they kind of canceled last minute. Excuse me. And then they created the Deadshot one, which I think that the Katana one, that was pre-planned, and I think all the issues were definitely all done, per se, when it comes to the Katana Curse of Cold miniseries. But in the case of Deadshot one, I don't think that was pre-planned. I think that was last minute, and they probably did it, in my opinion, actually I think it was like 2016 when this came out. Um, I think that they did it purely because of the movie, and because both these characters are featured in the movie, so why not feature them? But at least in the case of this miniseries, this kind of gave a reason why Katana was featured part of the Suicide Squad, because she was offered the team in this miniseries. And it's a good thing we did follow with Black Files, where they gave her a follow-up miniseries. And that came, like, not long after this. Like, this miniseries started back in January 2016. That's when the miniseries first started. And it officially wrapped up in I'm trying to look it up, guys. Sorry about this. Wrapped up in June 2016. And I think that the following miniseries was launched the following year, I think. The Black Files one. Okay, this actually was launched just a couple years ago. 2018, about 3 years ago. Yes. And she was featured in the Most Wanted El Diablo Boomerang. And the only reason why I did the follow-up because this miniseries did really well. So of course I do a follow-up with this one. Deadshot? No. His storyline was okay, but I love the Katana one a lot better. That's just my opinion anyways. And though I should also point out though, not the first time she's had her own solo book. Nope. She did have one a couple years prior to this, with the short-lived Katana ongoing series, which got canceled after only 10 issues, and was written by Ann Nesenti. Though the trade, they did collect the whole 10-issue series in a trade paperback one, and they also collected the Creeper one-shot, because Creeper appears in the book, so why not feature his actual Villains Month one-shot? And it's almost like DC didn't trust to have a book again, and then the miniseries was like, oh, she did really well this miniseries. Probably because one of her co-creators basically practically wrote the series. That's probably the reason why she got the follow-up, because people love Mike W. Burr writing Katana. That's just my opinion anyways. But yeah, this miniseries is really fun. In my opinion, it's a better story than Deadshot one. Yes, that's just my opinion. Yes, Deadshot for him. This actually was his third miniseries when this came out, because he had two previously before this. One published in the 80s by John Ostrander. Yeah, he briefly wrote him out of the main ongoing series. So Suicide Squad just do that 4-ish miniseries. Then they came back, and they gave him a second one in 2002, done by Crystal Gage. Which, that was also 4 issues. Yes, both series 4 issues was roughly 6 issues. Excuse me. So for Katana, it wasn't as long as Deadshot, but at least Katana had follow-up, because this was good. And eventually, later on, they basically brought back the Outsiders group. Currently, I believe she's featured in Urban Legends. I believe that's the current book she's featured in right now, just Urban Legends. Yeah, I believe it was like Batman Urban Legends is by far the most recent book she's featured in. Yeah, there's a feature for the Outsiders for the book. Yeah, that's where you can find her currently. Yes. Yeah, it is by far the most recent thing you can find her in is actually in Urban Legends. Yeah, she had a featured book called, well, Outsiders, called The Fearful, which was a really good storyline, done by Brandon Thomas. Surprisingly, Brian Hill didn't write this. Nope. And Alyssa Wong, who writes the Katana, Dr. Aphra, she did the Batwoman story from Urban Legends. But yeah, that's it for particular view. And that's pretty much it for videos today. Sorry for this video being kind of abruptly split because of accidentally hitting the button. Yep. So you might see a 2-part video, but it was by pure accident. I'm sorry about that. So, in the case of our videos, I don't have more planned for today. This was the only one I planned to do. There was just one Comic Corner. So tomorrow I expect to see 2 anime videos tomorrow. And that will be The Restaurant of the World and Cage Closed. And that's it. Okay? Next video.